Hi guys, this is Brandy coming to you from a cold and chilly day in Western New York. I've never done a planning video or a walk with me or anything like that before, but I've just finished up, or nearly finished up, my planner for 2018, and I've seen a lot of posts on some of the Facebook groups that I'm in asking about where to put inserts and things like that. So I thought I might share how I've gone about getting mine put together, at least for now. I can't say for sure how it's going to work, but let's go ahead and get started. I was lucky enough to pick up the lovely rose gold cover for my Happy Planner at Michael's on clearance, which had me absolutely thrilled. I also have a mini that's in a rose gold planner, so now they sit there side by side on my table in the evening, looking like the mommy planner and the baby planner, and that just puts a smile on my face. So right at the beginning, I have the standard Happy Planner pages. I've got just a couple of months in here at a time, so I have my monthly spread, and then my weeklies right now through March. I just took December out, so I will probably add April in, but then again, maybe not, because I have found that I am pretty much at capacity right now. So as you can see, I decorate heavily, and I may have gotten a little carried away with my plaid for next week. But when I saw the plaid from Victoria Thatcher, I had to have it. So I went nuts with it, and it's all there. I think I'm gonna go over here, because you may have noticed as I was flipping that I have this bookmark in here. So let me show you what those are like. These are something that I designed myself that just kind of gives me a running to-do list for the week of household tasks. And then I have a different one for each week of the month that breaks the house up into zones. I used to be really, really good at following the Fly Ladies system for cleaning the house before my second son came along. And I'm trying to get back to something similar to that. So I tackle one area of the house each week, and I've taken the things that need to get done on a monthly basis and broken them out over the course of the week, and sometimes I leave myself some room for a catch-up day. I've recently joined a decluttering group because clutter is one of my biggest problems, and they set a decluttering task for each week. So I will probably be putting that in my bonus mission each week. If theirs isn't appropriate for me, then I plan on coming up with something for myself. So for anyone that's wondering about how to get household tasks into their planner, I thought this was a really easy way to do it without filling up the pretty part of my planner. Just get this put away. I have a month at a time set up on 2 pages, and I print them and cut them all at once. So like I said, I've got the rest of a couple of months here ready to go in case I need to put something on there that's happening in the future. Then I ended up getting, I should probably note that these are just the dashboards from Mambi. I was lucky enough to pick those up on clearance at Michael's as well. This doesn't particularly appeal to me, but they're more about function than form for me. The budget planner, I went back and forth about whether or not I was going to purchase it, and I tried designing my own, and it worked okay. But when I actually was able to get my hands on a budget planner, because my stores in the area here have been sold out for a while, when I was able to score one, I went ahead and grabbed it. So I have my budget section started, and then before the actual planner, I found a no-spend month success planner from Thrive or Survive. And I'm going to link all of this stuff under the video when I post it too, so that if you're interested, you'll know where to find it. But that just kind of gives you a quick monthly budget, which I didn't use because I'm working on that in the Happy Planner budget planner. And then just helps you to plan out why you're doing your no spend and setting your rules. And then I loved this part, and I've already got something here already. When you come across those things that you would want to spend your money on and don't do it, then you write them down. And of course, then next month, if I decide it's not going to be a no-spend month, it'll be here so that I can buy it then. Or it gives me time to pause and think. I actually went on to Wish. This tub shroom thing is a thing that goes into your drain and collects the hair, which is a major problem for me. I found it on Wish for like $2, so if I decide that that's a thing I need, I can get it for a whole lot less than the $12.99 that we originally saw it for. So then the planner then gives you some things to think about at the beginning of your first week, and then when you get to the end of the week, you can kind of make some notes about what could go better the next week, how it went in general, where your successes were. So things like, I didn't buy the tub shroom, would go here. And then there's a couple more weeks worth of that, and then a wrap up at the end. And I thought that was a really neat idea, especially this is my very first no spend. So I wanted something to kind of help me stay focused, basically. And then I've got the standard budget planner from Mambi. I've flipped my pages around, and I'm still working through this because budgeting is not a thing that I've ever done in the past. So it all feels really foreign to me right now. But for me, having this closer to where I'm working seemed to make more sense. This is less important than me remembering when I need to pay what. And you'll see that I've noted here, the one thing that I think is really lacking in the budget planner is a place to track when each bill is due. So for now, I've put a little number here next to the ones that I know the due dates on. And I also am working on setting up the cash envelope system for some of my monthly expenses. So I've also gone through and made a note. I put an asterisk next to things that I am going to go ahead and pay online with a debit card. This is wrong. I'm going to have to go back with the white out. Oh my God. Up in through here, you'll see, maybe you can see, I've put a $sign next to the things that I'm going to pay cash. I've got some notes in here. I did a couple of workshops with Ruth, I'll probably say her name wrong. I think it's Sukup from Living Well Spending Less. So I've got some notes from that here, and you may have caught a glimpse back here, some things that I jotted down from listening to her videos that I wanted to keep in my mind throughout the month as I'm looking through things. So I jotted those down on there. And I'm getting started with all of this and trying to feel it all out. I'm really looking forward to the day when budgeting is not my job anymore. So flipping ahead, of course, there's the stickers from the extension pack. Behind my next dashboard, I have started a section for meal planning. I try to do this as much as possible, but it's been an on-again, off-again thing for me. So I thought by putting it in my planner, I would hopefully get more consistent with it. And that's part of my whole goal with the entire planner this year is to get more consistent about the things that I should be doing all the time. And it's actually my word for the year, consistent, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when I get to that section. So these pages came from the Fit Strong Lean, I believe they call it a fitness planner. I have all this written down. Like I said, I'll link it below when I'm all done. I didn't keep everything from that planner, and I've kind of pieced it together in different sections, but that's where this page came from. That's where my dinner planner came from. I've seen lots of planners that do a week on a page, but this works better for me because I actually shop 2 weeks at a time. I get paid bi-weekly, so that works out better for me. And I really like the idea that I can note ahead, like we're going to be gone this weekend, so I don't need to plan meals there. I got my paydays noted on here too, just to help me remember when my shopping days are going to be. And then behind that, I went ahead and put in the grocery list from the Fit Strong Lean planner. I'm not sure that this will stay. I'm actually thinking that I have some half sheets from Mambi that I think might work better in my weekly section. I just haven't quite decided yet. So for now, that's here, and I've already made a couple notes of things that I'm going to need to get on my next shopping trip. And then an inventory is something that I used to keep religiously. I haven't been. But I would like to get back to it because having this list makes the whole meal planning process so much easier. So I've got a page for the fridge and the freezer, and then on the back here there's room for a pantry inventory. Again, that's from the Fit Strong Lean planner. And then I've got some pages in here from one of the workshops that I did with Living Well, Spending Less that still has some notes and some ideas that I want to utilize in my meal planning and haven't quite gotten through all of it yet. I wanted to keep two. She's got a slightly different setup for her grocery list, so I've been looking at that and pondering what's going to be the best approach for me. And then she has her list of pantry staples that I thought I would hold on to for right now until I can come up with a list that is more appropriate to how we eat in our house. And that's the biggest problem I've had with finding printables that I thought worked well for me. What works in one house doesn't necessarily work in another. There are things on this list that she would consider a staple. Like I see Hamburger Helper here. We hardly ever keep Hamburger Helper in our cupboards. I try to avoid boxed meals as much as possible. But this gives me a place to start until I can develop my own. And then, like I said, she does a weekly planning page. I don't plan breakfast and lunch because my younger son and I both do breakfast and lunch away from home, him at school and me at work. I'm actually a teacher, and I usually eat breakfast and lunch with my kids in the classroom. But because this is on the back of the pantry list, it's still there. But she, in her workshop, talked about making a list of meal planning ideas. So I've kept that page here so that when I sit down with my meal planning again, I can start to work on that list. My next section is my health and fitness planner. So far, this one is very blank, but this is one of my major goals. One of my hobbies is actually rock climbing. So fitness is something that I really, really, really need to be working on because I tell you what, the hikes in and out are absolutely brutal sometimes. So I want to drop a few pounds this year and start working on my stamina a little bit. So I wanted this section in here. I'm not quite sure how all of this is going to come together yet, but right now, so far, the cover here is also from the Fit Strong Lean planner, as is this workout planner. I'm not sure if this is going to work for me, but it's here so that I can at least start thinking and scribbling ideas down until I come up with a more cohesive plan. This page is from the Fitness Fashionista. I'm forgetting what she called it, but like I said, that information will be down below the video when I get finished here. I like this one because it's got room for reps and sets and the specific exercise. If I'm going to use this one, I'm going to have to print it again because printing it on the graph paper did not work out so well. But I really liked that there is a section here for a 30-day challenge. In fact, this I turned into a sticker, and I have a sheet of them. There's stickers. Some of them have a challenge already on them, and then there's blank ones so that you can create your own challenge. I thought that was a pretty cool idea, and that's the kind of thing that I'm more likely to use. But as I said, I don't have a definitive plan yet, but these are here to get me started, to give me some ideas. This section wasn't something that I had originally thought of having, and you don't find it in the Mambi inserts. So when I saw this was part of the reason that I grabbed the Fit Strong Lean planner. I thought it was a really good idea. An old picture of me that I look at this picture, and I that's one of the pictures I have of myself that I actually feel beautiful when I look at that. So I threw that in there because I need that reminder. But this section is all about why you're setting your fitness goals. And I thought we do that when we're setting personal goals, but I've never seen it in a fitness planner before. And I think it's a really important step to go through. So I included these pages, and I'll be sitting down over the next week or so and working through these along with some of my other goal setting pages. But this is your why story, why you want to work on your fitness, and then a vision board and a list of goals. And then I printed multiple copies of this goal plan sheet where you take these goals and break them down, specifying milestones, determining what your rewards are going to be, reminding yourself of that motivation. And I thought these are, I think, going to help me a lot more than just having it in my head. When I sit down and review my planner, they will be right there to remind me and help me keep that motivation going. So I have a couple of those here. I thought this was a really neat idea. They call this an excuse buster. What are your excuses for not exercising, and what are you going to do to bust those excuses? This one's going to take a lot of thought for me. I'm sure I have excuses. Most of the time it's just that I overslept or I'm too tired, but I think I'm going to really brainstorm and figure out what else might be getting in my way so that I can keep myself going. And a motivation page, some quotes, who inspires me, tips and ideas. So this is just kind of a nice note page, again, to keep that motivation going throughout the year. I think this page is intended for some pictures, perhaps, and the fitness bucket list, I wasn't really sure what might go on there, but I put it in here because I think it's something, again, that I need to consider and brainstorm about and just see what happens. And then the body management section, also from the Fit Strong Lean Planner. I've seen a few people post about weight loss trackers and what to do with it. Because a lot of them are focused on reaching a specific goal. I really liked the idea that this is just a list of what you weighed in on whatever date. And then you can note over here your gains and losses. I think this is a better approach because, as people have pointed out, you might lose 3 pounds this week and then gain a pound next week. And so if you're doing one of those trackers where you've got the track that you're following, how do you document that small setback, or even if there's a big setback? So I think this is a better approach to it. I've also got this from the Fitness Fashionista, where you can track your measurements, and it's got room for like almost the whole year. So I put the two of them together and thought this is a perfect way to keep everything there. Then in the back we get into, even though the fitness section is rather personal, everything behind this extra cover is even more personal. And so this, I think, just kind of separates it all. And I got to thinking about it when I was taking my shower today, too. The way that I've set this up, the stuff in the front is the stuff that I'm going to look at in the beginning of the day, or even right after work. But the stuff in the back is things that are going to probably not get looked at until the evening. So without even realizing it, I kind of divided my day. And I thought, well, now that's pretty cool. But this, I ended up finding a planner at Hobby Lobby for $6 and change. That was last year's planner. I went ahead and grabbed it because I said, you know, the rings alone are worth almost that much. And then it's always extra paper, it's extra dividers. And it had the rose gold rings, which are now living in my mini planner. So it worked out really well. I just made this little sticker to go over the 2016 to 17 that was printed on there, and I couldn't do anything else about it, so I just covered it up. So behind here, the first section that I have, this is my goal setting section. And a lot of this, actually I think all of this, except this one page, has come from Living Well, Spending Less, the workbooks that you get when you do her little workshops. This page was towards the front of one of those, and I bumped it right up to the front, and it will probably stay in here because I thought this was great. The life you love starts now. And then I've got some of the pages that I'm still working with from the goal setting workshop that I did there, as well as I printed some extras of her monthly goal page, because I think this is great to sit down at the end of the month, looking ahead to the next month, and decide what goals you want to look at for then, looking back to the list for the year that I'm still working on, and breaking it down to, okay, so what am I going to focus on this month? So I've got one for this month and one for next month ready to go. I'm not sure about her weekly wizard yet, but if you take one of her workshops, she walks you through how this works. I like the idea. I'm not 100% sure that it's going to work for me, but I want to try it out. So what I would do with this is, as I'm sitting down and doing my weekly plan, rough things out for the week here and then transfer them into my planner somehow with all of my pretty stickers. And then I also printed extras of her goal crushing worksheet. And this is the crux of what she talks about in the first workshop that I took. And I thought it was a really good approach. So you might want to check out and see if she is still offering that, because I like it better than the traditional SMART goals. Beyond that, I don't think it's my place to talk about it, because I'm sure that all of her work is copywritten and so on and so forth. Then I have this KonMari checklist, and I'll link this at the bottom too. As I mentioned, clutter is a bit of a problem for me. So I've checked off the things that I've gone through and decluttered already. I've crossed off the things that don't apply in my house, and I've still got a lot more to go. So that's there so that I can keep working towards that throughout the year. The next section, I probably broke some rules here. I had my heart set on getting the wellness planner when I first saw the video introducing it. And then, of course, we all know what happened with the release not happening when we expected it to. And I still went ahead and hit 3 different Michaels trying to get my hands on it. And wasn't having any luck, and was just as frustrated as I know so many other people are. But I came back home after my last Michaels trip, unsuccessful Michaels trip, and thought, do I really need it, or is it something that I can work out for myself? So what I ended up doing, I watched the video and I've looked at pictures that other people have posted, and I recreated the beginning pages that are in there so that I can work through that mental process at the beginning of the year here. And then, because this has never been a thing that I've focused on, I thought, it's asking me about self-care, but I mean, aside from my daily shower and applying lotion and things like that, I'm not really sure that this is a thing that I do very well. So I went ahead and did a little bit of research online, and I'll link to the article that I pulled these from too. I added, it's 45 different ways to care for yourself, broken down into mind, body, and soul or spirit. So these are right here to help me along the way as I'm trying to get better about my self-care. And then, because the real crux for me in deciding whether or not I wanted to wait until I got my hands onto the expansion pack was the realization that I didn't need most of it. It's got the monthly calendar. I've already got 2 of them in the front, and another here that you'll see in a minute, and then weekly pages that really the only part that I would have any use for would be that bottom row. So this now is the guts out of the planner that this cover came from. And what I've done, let me get, I also imitated what they have on the page before the monthly. I forget what this page is called. And I just did up a real pretty from... I can't remember. It's a Facebook group, and she also has an Etsy shop. But she does beautiful printables every month. I believe it's My Life Planner. I'll have to double check that. That one I did not link because I forgot about it. But I'll go back and fix that problem. But anyway, this part I won't need, so I just made it beautiful. And I'm going to skip ahead to next week because I've already started writing on this week. I found these date stickers at Michael's. They're from Heidi Swap, and they were on clearance. I've got like 2 years worth of them now, and paid, I think, $4. So it was a great deal. I made myself some 2018 stickers to cover that up. And now I've got a functional planner for the year. And then I made stickers with the daily prompts that you see in that bottom row of the wellness planner. So I'm using this like a journal, which is my understanding of what that bottom section of the wellness expansion pack would be for. And then on the notes section, I've added one little word so that in this section at the end of the week, I can reflect on my one little word for the year and make sure that I'm keeping that as a regular part of my routine. And on the note of one little word, then in the back here, I have a section where I've done the At the beginning, she gives you some prompts to get you thinking about the year and how your word is going to be in your year. My word is consistent. I yanked these out at the beginning. I didn't talk about them, but these are the cards that come with the kit if you take the course. It's the first time I've ever done it, so it'll be interesting to see if I can actually be consistent with this as well as all of the rest of what I've got set up here. But this actually belongs up here in my weekly spread, with the idea of it being right there where we will see it always. So that's my setup for the year. Like I said, I'm going to link everything that I've talked about as much as I possibly can, so that if you're interested in any of these inserts, you would be able to find them. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.